Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be playing a little bit of Historic Brawl for the F&M at Home event. This has probably come out tomorrow, as of the releasing of this particular event, so, you know, probably a Saturday right now, but for the Historic Brawl event, I'm going to try and make a multitude of different videos for you peeps out there who may enjoy this format. So over the coming weeks, I'm going to be releasing some content that I've been playing in this format. Today's deck is one that's very close to my heart, I guess, in a roundabout fashion. It's going to be Gideon Prison. I've done a lot of prison decks in my time, and Gideon of the Trials is my all-time favorite Planeswalker, I would say, just because of its unique nature. I really do not love most of the Planeswalkers that have tick up, draw a card, minus, kill, ult, win. This one does a lot of different things, and it does it in a really fun way, at least for the person who's playing it anyway. 3 mana for a 3 loyalty Planeswalker. The tick up allows you to essentially prevent all combat damage that a permanent of your choice would deal, so a fog for 1 permanent. The 0 does a usual Gideon thing of turning him into a 4/4 human soldier creature token with Indestructible, and that is actually quite important for this deck as well. You prevent all damage that would be dealt to him, and he's still a Planeswalker. And then the 0 at the bottom gives you an emblem that says, as long as you control a Gideon Planeswalker, you can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. So, this is Gideon Prison. It's a control deck in white, which has a lot of tools to interact with our opponent, and then eventually find one way that we can lock them out of winning the game. Basically, if we can't lose, we win. So, we have what you might expect, the usual suspects of 9 lives Solemnity combo in here. Solemnity says things can't get counters, you know, in general. And the 9 lives says whenever it is in play, as long as you are dealt damage, it prevents that damage and puts a counter on it. So Solemnity says that 9 lives can't get counters, which means it never hits the 9 live side of things, which would normally cause you to lose the game. However, also, if 9 lives should miraculously disappear off the board, and we have a Gideon of the Trials in play, that emblem will actually save us. I say Gideon of the Trials, it can actually be any Gideon. We also have Gideon Blackblade in here. You could run Planeswalker deck Gideon, but I'm not going to, because I think he's kind of trash and not worth it, to be honest. But yes, we got Gideon Blackblade and Gideon of the Trials in here, both of which will work with the emblem to stop you from losing the game, and for your opponent to stop winning the game as well. So things like Thassa's Oracle cannot be win conditions for your opponent. So again, if your opponent is durdling away, and you're durdling alongside them, they're not going to eventually win. You're going to eventually not lose. We can combo Gideon of the Trials as well with the first 0 ability to make him a 4/4 with Helm of the Host, and this is where the Oops All Gideon side of things comes into play. Helm of the Host is a 4 mana legendary artifact equipment. It says at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that is a copy of the equipped creature, except for the token isn't legendary if it is equipped. The creature itself is not legendary, and that token gains haste. So what you're going to do is, if you find your Helm of the Host down, this is going to be one of the ways that we can not lose the game. I'm not going to say win the game, because it won't necessarily win you the game, although over a long period of time it just certainly will. But it will basically cause you to not lose the game. Helm of the Host will be equipped onto a 4/4 Gideon, and during combat is going to make a copy of Gideon of the Trials, except for it's not legendary, which means we can make more and more and more and more Gideons as we go, using them to either tick up and prevent damage from a permanent, eventually getting to the point where we have so many Gideons that we can prevent all damage on the battlefield, or to close out the game, you can animate them all and turn them all into 4/4s as well, similar to when you would equip the Helm of the Host, and you can basically beat down with a 4/4 human soldier creature army. So today's video is actually going to showcase a Helm of the Host win as well. We do have a Solemnity 9 lives win in here, and also this bad boy of a card right here is going to win us a few games as well. Overwhelming Splendor. 8 mana for an enchantment Aura Curse. You enchant the player, and the enchanted player's creatures lose all abilities and have base power toughness 1/1. Enchanted player cannot activate abilities that aren't mana abilities or that aren't loyalty abilities as well. So basically, it doesn't shut down planeswalkers, and it doesn't shut down lands, but everything else is essentially going to be a 1/1 that does nothing. So your opponent's going to need a very specific answer in order to let their deck continue to function. So that's another way that we can at least slow our opponent down. Again, this is not going to win you the game, but it is going to severely hamper your opponent's ability to win the game, which is great. That's all we really want to do at the end of the day. So those are essentially our win cons. The rest of the deck is a mixture of card advantage in things like Treasure Map, Tome of Legends, and Maze Mine Tome, things like that. All of these draw cards in their own individual different ways, and some of them, even like Treasure Map, end up ramping you or fixing your mana, like Thematic Compass as well. Secretly an exceptionally good artifact right here. White doesn't have much card advantage, so we need to make it up wherever we can. So Thematic Compass is going to be our land drops for the turn. We're going to be quite happy to just take a little bit of a beating early on, because we can eventually lock our opponent out with a Gideon of the Trials, or wipe our opponent's board with the many wraths that we have in here. We've got Realm Cloak Giant, we got Single Combat, which allows us to essentially wipe all the planeswalkers off the board except for one, which means we can keep one Gideon of the Trials, so we can continue to not lose the game. It also stops your opponents from playing creatures or planeswalkers, which again can help your remaining Gideon stabilize, you know, get up to a loyalty where it can take a hit again. But yeah, we've got board wipes. We've got Wrath of God from the Armenket Remastered, destroy all creatures. Shatter the Sky, destroy all creatures, draw if you've got a 4/4, which, you know, Gideon Blackblade, Gideon the Trials can both be creatures without having Shatter the Sky destroy them, and we get to draw a card, which is cool. Settle the Wreckage, speaks for itself. If you've been around long enough, you'll know how much of a wreckage that this card can actually create. And I think we've got one more maybe somewhere along the line, or maybe that's it actually. Other than that, some interesting removal, mostly single targeted. So we got Banishing Light, Prison Realm, and let's see, Cast Out, Conclave Tribunal. Faith's Fetters is a solid one actually. This allows us to destroy a planeswalker without actually destroying it. We got Cavalier of Dawn, we got Elspeth Conquers Death, we got Glass Casket, Seal Away, Swift Response. You can get the idea. Most of the deck, other than not losing the game, is going to be removal to make sure that we stay not losing the game. The funny one that we do have is Gideon's Triumph, which, you know, doesn't see a lot of play, but if we're going with Gideon Tribal, then it's definitely going to work out. 2 mana instant. Target opponent sacrifices a creature that attacked or blocked this turn. If you control a Gideon Planeswalker, your opponent sacks 2 of those creatures instead, so basically double value. You're not really going to find a card that does this much value for this mana cost in white, so it's pretty good all around. And yeah, that's essentially the deck. I'm pretty sure that the mana base is not really of interest. We've got a couple of deserts in here, just a Shepherd Dunes, because, you know, we might have a Gideon of the Trials army, so, you know, giving them all +1/+1 could be relevant. Arch is actually card advantage. If we got the City's Blessing, having 10 or more permanents in play, we can use it to pay 5 and tap to draw a card, which is cute. Cryptic Caves does its thing, draws cards. Detection Tower is a good one as well to deal with things that are hexproof, because obviously we've got a lot of targeted removal. Don't really want to be using a board wipe to kill one individual creature, so removing the hexproof from it using Detection Tower allows us to then use our Glass Caskets, Banishing Lights, and so forth. Scavenger Grounds to hate on all graveyards. Our graveyard doesn't particularly matter. We only have a few cards that really care. Cavalier of Dawn has a death trigger for an artifact or enchantment, and the Elspeth Conquers Death has a 3rd chapter to return a creature or a planeswalker. They're nice to have, but they're not really required. You know, losing our graveyard is not really going to do anything, so it's nice to have. It's also another desert as well, so you can, you know, Shepherd Dunes with it. And you can also sack Shepherd Dunes to it as well, so if we can use the Scavenger Grounds, we can get repeatable Desert Sacrifice. Labyrinth is a bad Maze of Ith, which is the same as Thematic Compass's Spires of Araska, but, you know, a little bit more expensive. Khan's Bastion proliferates, speaks for itself. Field of Ruin for Field of the Dead, and essentially that is all. If you do enjoy this kind of content, then let me know down in the comment section below what you would like to see next. I might not be able to get to it since I'm going to be pre-recording quite a lot of Historic Brawl today, so hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get on to it, shall we? This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alright, we're in, and, well, we have the win con, air quotes, in hand, and Guardian Idol on 2, single combat seems pretty good. Yeah, we're going to keep this one. It could do with a little bit of improvement. We don't exactly want to see Overwhelming Splendor until, like, turn 19,000, so, you know. Is what it is, but we're going to go Guardian Idol and pass. Our opponent is playing Captain Sisse, a 4-mana 2/2 legendary creature, human soldier, mostly irrelevant. You can tap to search your library for a legendary card and reveal that card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So, our opponent is basically just going to turbo slam legends left, right, and center, and we essentially need a way of dealing with that, because it's coming down next turn and we don't have an answer. So, let's get an emblem. Only reason that emblem might be bad is for Questing Beast. And Questing Beast, I guess, is just going to kill it anyway, so it really doesn't matter, to be honest. Alright, Cultivate. Just grabs a nice even split. Let's Shatter the Sky. So that's better than nothing. Right, well, we're going to go Human Soldier mode. And we're going to swing on in. And then we're going to play Helm of the Host. If we get a land next turn, we can start making Gideons after Gideons after Gideons. The only problem with that plan is going to be our opponent playing Captain Sisse and getting Urza's Ruinous Blast. Because Urza's Ruinous Blast... Oh, never mind. They got Planar Cleansing. Still have a chance. I don't know about that one, Gideon. I truly don't. Urza's Ruinous Blast essentially would get rid of the non-legendary copies of Gideon of the Trials. They've got an Evra. Fair enough. And we're just kind of flailing around now, so I don't really know what to say about this one. We're gonna see if our opponent wants to run straight into a Gideon's Triumph, I suppose. I doubt they would, because we're kind of holding up and settle the wreckage here. Huh. Well, let's let that resolve. And then let's try and sacrifice it. Alright, they're at 4. Okay, that's a thing. An opponent plays bad. What a weird place to be. Still, like, not in a great spot, by the way. We're essentially kind of just durdling around and hoping our opponent doesn't play good cards, which so far they're doing a good job of making sure that's not the case. Alright, they're going up to 5. And we got ourselves a Plains. I just don't really care about this board state just yet, so I think I'm just going to crack Thematic Compass every turn and see where we go from there. This board state's just not worth a single combat or a shot at the sky right now. So they can gain a little bit of life. They still, like, lost a hell of a lot of life. Let's just remember that for a second. God Eternal Oketra. Well, this might be worth a shot at the sky. My opponent's going to pass. Alright, so we're going to grab our land drop. And because we're going to be shattering here, we're not going to upkeep stop. There's a Realm Claw Giant. I think you take the Shatter on this one, since there's no Power 4 or greater creatures in play right now. Have I made my land drop this turn? I did. Enter the battlefield this turn, yeah. Sorry, I just had a bit of a brain fart. Let's go for a Shatter the Sky. Let's get rid of the board. See where we go from there. I don't know why they haven't really played their Sisse. I guess they think Baird and Linden are good cards to play, which I would disagree, personally. There's many, many good cards you can have in place. Alright, Tolsamir comes into play, makes a doge, goes to 10. And there's Sisay. Alright, so we're going to Realm Cloak Giant. And get rid of Sisay, because we really don't want our opponent doing those kind of shenanigans. So let's go with an Arcane Signet. Gives us 5 mana, and then we'll go for a Cast Off. Keeping Captain Sisay off the board is primary goal number 1. We can also eventually just slap an Overwhelming Splendor down, and that will also stop Captain Sisay from being useful. Which is not too far off. So let's go with the... And we can go for a land drop here, can't we? Yeah. Activate. Play our planes. And then Cavalier the Sisay. Boop. Get that out of play. And now we've got ourselves a Mazavith. God Eternal Ketra comes down, and let's see if they have a follow-up creature. They do not. Ooh, Mangara's very good. But you know what else is really good? Overwhelming Splendor on your opponent. All their creatures are 1/1s now, and they don't do anything. So they're going to need Cleansing Nova, or Disenchants in general. And until they find them, I imagine the vast majority of their deck is kind of useless. Yeah, if they've got... What could they have for Overwhelming Splendor as far as Captain Sisay is concerned? Because they will have wanted to focus on the legendary side of things. But I do imagine there's a Banishing Light in there somewhere. We can Banishing Light it right back. Ah, they could just top deck Ugin. What is Ugin? 7, okay. So they can start lightning bolting me. Let's see. There's no way I can really kill Ugin right here. I could go for a single combat, which would leave me with 4 mana to play Mangara, I guess. They either get rid of Ugin or they get rid of the Aketra, and we hit them for 4. I guess we're going to go ahead and do that. Alright. I guess I should, no, actually, I also can't play creatures. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, hit them for 4. And play Birth of Meletus, I suppose. Play a land drop. It's a shame we can't Timely, as we are both winning in life total. And anything else? Alright, Shatter the Sky. Draw a card. Secluded Step will cycle away. We have Helm of the Host, which won't do anything. Not while Ugin's around. I guess I'll take it anyway, because if we find a way to answer Ugin, then that kind of solves our game-winning issues. We have Realm Cloak Giant we can play as well. There's a 7/7, so that can pressure the Ugin kind of nice. Alright, let's just cycle this away. Take 3. Get another planes. Great. Solemnity, 9 lives. They can -3, but if we can answer it, that's great. Oh yeah, we've still got freaking single combat in play. Didn't realize it would take that long to go away, to be honest. Thought I'd already be there by now. Which is actually a real shame. Alright, well, play Helm of the Host, I suppose. And there's no point playing Solemnity. Their entire goal here is to minus Ugin to take out care of the Splendor. So anything I put in play that is coloured, that is lower mana cost, which is everything, essentially. We'll just eat the dust on that one. But we have slowed them down quite significantly anyway. Johnny Strength of the Pride is a strange one, because Ugin takes that away. So they can make a Pride Mate, which is a 1-1 that does nothing. And then they can hit me for 12. Hit me from 12 for 3. Ooh, Elspeth Cogger's Death. Alright, that's a good one. Let's tap the Detention Tower. ECD the Ugin. So we've seen Plane of Cleansing from them. We've seen Ugin from them. Cleansing Nova was really, I think, the only thing they could have had there. I guess hers is Ruinous Blast as well, but they need a Legend in play, and I'm sure we could counter that one. But yeah, we did it. Didn't think we'd do it, but we managed to do it. Maybe they scooped a little early. I'm sure they've got a lot of answers. I know the last time I made a Captain Sisay deck, it would have had answers on top of what you already saw there. I'm pretty sure I have like Night of Autumns in there, or whatever it's called. The 3-mana Selesnya one that is modal. It's Night of Autumn, right? I don't know. But I would run that card in the list, so... Oh, I guess it... Actually, no. It ETBs and does nothing. Yeah, Overwhelming Spender kind of shuts that one down. So it really is just like Cleansing Nova and Urza's Ruinous Blast, I suppose. So, yeah. And Banishing Light. They would definitely have a Banishing Light in there. There's many things they could have had, but I'm kind of glad they scooped because I win. Woo! Alright, next game. Okay, we are in, and let's have a look at this hand. We've got a Mox Amber for Gideon to turn on into something like Smothering Tithe or Wrath of God. We are going to need a third land, but I think we can take our chances with this one. We're playing against a commander that is not usually known as a good commander, so, you know, see what we do. Psy Master Thopterist is our opponent's deck. 3 mana 1/4. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. You may pay 2 to sacrifice 2 artifacts to draw a card. So the reason why I don't think this one's particularly good is because it basically does the job of a Layla, and the Layla does it just much better, presumably. So we're now in very dangerous territory of must draw a land. 41% chance to make that happen. I think we've only got like 1 land in the deck, which is like Secluded Step, which comes into play tapped, which would be obviously less than ideal. But if we can drop down Gideon the Trials or Blackblade, either one of those, then we can really make some work. Ugh. Or we could just not hit a land drop, and our opponent can have all the time they need to win this game. Psy Master Thopterist. And Emery can just get a Sparring Construct. Yeah, but no mana to cast it, so hit us 1 instead. Oh, thank Christ for that. Alright, so let's have a look-see. We are going to be setting up a Wrath of God. It's just which... I think we want to go with Gideon of the Trials, because Gideon Blackblade on the tick-up can give Creature Gideon something useful if we want to go down that route. Emery's most likely tapping over Psy, so we'll Fog Psy. See what our opponent can do. Yeah, I feel like, short of our opponent having something like River's Rebuke, we can really set up a lock here with Gideon of the Trials and Helm of the Host. We can probably get there easy enough. Inquisitive Puppet. And our deck is full of Wraths as well, so our opponent really is looking for a setup of a nice board state, I would imagine. Maybe for the 4-mana Saga, whose name escapes me, as it usually does, but the one that turns all your artifacts into 5/5s. That's probably one of their win cons, for sure. And this is just the greatest Wrath of God I've ever seen in my entire life. My opponent might scoop in no time at all. Conclave Tribunal. It's not too bad. So, yeah, we're just going to Wrath of God. Set our opponent back pretty significantly. Unless they've got Force of Negation, but they can't really cast it because... or Pact of Negation, sorry. So they have to pay the 5, so it's not going to happen here. And this is the... I'm holding priority button right now. Ooh, the ropes kicked in. Alright, so I think instead of making an emblem here, we're just going to get in for 4. Start pressuring our opponent. There we go.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
No, neither do I. It's a mystery to me too. Alright, well, easy game, I guess. I'm pretty sure we were going to always win that one, but I would have liked to play it out, just, you know, to prove a point. To prove a point, I guess. Next time we were just going to Smothering Tithe and tax our opponents, so we end up ramping if they don't tax their mana for 2. And I imagine that they wouldn't really like us ramping in that way. And then we could probably drop down something like Mangara as well. If they've got 4 cards here to rebuild, they'll have to play multiple cards, and that means that we get to draw cards, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, really easy game. Let's go for another one. Alright, keeping this hand. Seems fine. Turn 2, Arcane Signet. Turn 3, Gideon in the Trials if we want. We're playing Gideon in the Trials, so basically we're trying to play mono white control, in a nutshell. And then average Texan is going to be playing the Ketra the True, 4 mana, double striking, indestructible. Can't attack or block, unless you control at least 3 other creatures. Then it can pay for 4 to do some shenanigans. So, Ancestral Blade, you say. What's the activation on this? 3. So play it down. I can't do anything with it. Next turn, 3, 2. I could do with Swift's response. I kind of feel like I just want to get Gideon down, to be honest. Let's get Gideon down. We'll start taking on that token.
You'll have to get through me first.
Alright, Daxos has entered the game. Nice. Alright.
It's time to give up.
It's time to duel. Let's play Thaumatic Compass and pass the old turn. Hallowed Priest. Basically, Pride Mate. It's a card, alright. So I'm imagining we're going to see some attacks here, which is where Gideon's Triumph comes into play. Target opponent sacks a creature that attacked or blocked. If you control a Gideon, you sack 2 instead. Good stuff. Alright. And then now I can do Thaumatic Compass, go grab a Plains. This is my version of card draw right here. And then we'll tick up on the Hollow Priest.
You'll have to get through me first.
Can you go next? You absolutely can, Ekamos. It's time to die. Oh. Oh no. Well, you never know. We'll see. It may end up getting to that point. Alright, Griffin Airy. So nothing can do combat damage, which is great. We'll keep it that way.
Now it's my turn.
Now it's my turn. And yeah, we're just going to continue drawing cards with our Thaumatic Compass. The value. We'll wait on the Prism Realm, I think. Yeah, we're good. So Gideon's up at 6. It's a nice, comfortable place to be. It's one where we don't really care too much about the Sacred Cat pinging it all that much. Sworn Companions. Oh, is it Seamare's after? Oh. There you go. This is why I have mods managing a list. Because I'm terrible. Alright. That's not a bad draw. Okay, so Plains. Is this where we go with this? It certainly could be. I don't really want to fire him off too soon, but when's a better time than now? Yeah, let's do it. And then Gideon becomes a 4/4. Wouldn't it be funnier if it did jump the queue? Oh man. Now you mention it. That would be hilarious. Alright, equipping up. Back to dealing with some tutus. Compass, grab a planes. Tick up on the lifelinking token.
Let's do this one-on-one.
And pass the turn. Compass finally flips into Spires of Araska. Basically Mazavith for all you EDH players out there. Ooh. And Basri Cat's back. But Born of the Night is just secretly Seamari's wannabe. I don't know why, but for some reason that's the case. Alright, so we're swinging in. We get to make some tapped and attacking tokens, which is totally fine for now. And it's all going at us, so I think we're fine with that. And passes. Not really got anything to do that I care about. So now we're going to go with Prison Realm. Take care of Basri Cat, I think. The Indestructible's kind of annoying. Don't really care too much about that, though. Cryptic Caves. Crack it. Digging for a very specific card right now, by the way. Which I don't want to give away. But when we get there, it's going to be glorious. And yeah, I think we just prevent the damage that the Erator would do.
You'll have to get through me.
And we pass. Here's a Ketra. Takes Texan up to 28. And we're getting in for some combat damage. So we do have Spires of Araska, so we can undo that little bit of damage there. And 2 points is a comfortable life total to be taking. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Helm of the Host. I don't think we can afford to play it just yet. So we'll go with... Why would you do that? Game's a weirdo. Destroy all non-giants, please. And then tick up on a Ketra.
Now it's my turn.
Next turn, chat. I feel like we just needed to have a little bit of a clean board state before we went on with that. Helm and a Patricoco. It was a thing. It's 5. So make Gideon a creature. And then Helm up Gideon. Go to combat. Make a copy of Gideon. And there's really no reason... Actually, no, there is a good reason to attack, because the Ketra can't block. So it's just Angel of Grace here. Alright. And then we tick up on Angel of Grace. And pass the turn. So we've got our Spires open to stop a Ketra getting in. So unless there's some hasty white creature I don't know about, I think we're pretty safe for at least a turn now. I'll have you know that Gideon is voiced by me. Can't you tell? You'll have to get through me first. Yeah, you see? See? Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make this Gideon a creature.
I don't think so.
Helm up this Gideon. Uncanny, thank you. Thank you. Thought you might think so. Alright. Make another Gideon.
Defend
Get in with Gideon of the Trials. Defend yourself! Ah. Ah. Unbreakable formation. Nice. Alright. Angel lives to block another day. And then we'll make Oketra unable to deal any damage.
ends now.
This ends now. I don't know about that. Maze Mind Tome. Pass. A little Gideon family. Aw, they're all different age groups as well. Which is cute. Alright. Ketra's now able to attack or block, but cannot really deal any damage. Alright, we will take one. Then we just draw here. We could actually activate the Khan's Bastion. Yeah, that works. Yeah, I'm all for that. First time casting that card. Alright, you don't deal damage. You don't deal damage. And you don't deal damage.
It's just you.
Texan, if you want to scoop at any point, by the way, don't feel pressured into sticking this one out. This is not going to be fun for the rest of the game. I want to put that out there. I would not begrudge you cancelling out of this one. And we'll take the damage. We'll draw a card. Alright, yeah, that's fine. That's a card. Alright. 1, 2... Turn you into a creature.
I don't think so.
Equip you up? I don't think so. I love Gideon. He's so good. What a cool bro. Alright, you're a creature. You're a creature.
No, I don't think so.
Swing for 12.
Oketra, watch over me.
Oh, he's got cleansing. Oh boy. I wonder if I've got some up for that. I actually don't know. Alright, so Texan's playing to his outs. Alright, that doesn't deal damage.
My turn.
I guess I gotta put the pressure on now. Now I'm officially intimidated. Alright, Realm Claw Giant coming out. Ugin exile all. That would be rough as well. Although, does this... Hang on, this does say something about Planeswalkers, right? Player loses all abilities now if enchanted player can't activate loyal abilities that aren't... Oh, no. It basically exempts Planeswalkers from being hindered. Alright. This is a creature. This is a creature. This is a creature. This is a creature. This one's equipped. Yeah, that's good. All in.
Your weapons won't
Tommy's Gideon confirmed. Maybe. I don't think so. Yeah? Yeah? Let's not come back to that. Yeah. Some say that Jace was the first Planeswalker to have replications of himself. I don't know about that. We don't talk about it.
Let's do this.
Let's do this! Ha! I don't think so. Where's his Black Blade? It's in here somewhere, actually. We have assembled the Gatewatch in a roundabout fashion. There's probably a Gatewatch's worth of Planeswalkers here, for sure. Why does Splendor look so weird on the battlefield? Is it supposed to look that weird? Was that intentional? Probably, right? Proliferate. Not that I need to. I don't know why I am, but it just seemed like the right thing to do. That's a card. Alright, that's a creature. That's a creature. That's a creature. So's that one. And this one. This one's getting equipped.
Our community grows.
Equinauts, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying your day. Alright. And that'll do it. How many Gideons? Enough Gideons. 6 Gideons. Yeah, they really should work on that Planeswalker Legend rule. It's so weird. Did not get it. It was close though. I can sense it was on the top. It was definitely on the top. Should have let them draw. To be honest, I think that even through planar cleansing, I could probably have stabilized. I'm not sure, but it's like I could recast Gideon, so I have his emblem stacking again. Just trying to think what my other things are. We've got Elspeth Conquers Death can bring back something big like the Realmclad Giant. Everything's still, I guess, not with the Overwhelming Splendor. You can lock them with 9 Lives Solemnity after the cleansing. There's lots of ways that I can not die. It's just winning is is something that it doesn't do very quickly. Okay then, we're in, and we got 9 lives in our hands, so we're basically looking for Solemnity, which has probably got a pretty reasonable win rate against our opponent's commander. I'm going to keep this one, actually. It's really good with the Faith Fetters, locking down their Planeswalker for sure. Ajani Strength of the Pride is going to be their Planeswalker of choice, and we'll get to that one in just a moment. Just going to play a land drop and pass. Ajani Strength of the Pride, 4 mana, white Planeswalker with 5 loyalty. Overwhelming Splendor is going to be relatively absurd, I would say. It does require our opponents not to have lots of creatures with counters on them, but everything should be a 1/1 if that ends up resolving. It's going to be a while before we get there, though. But maybe we can do it. We've got Birth of Meletus to make sure that we got our land drops up to 4, which is nice. And our opponent's just kind of gaining random bits of life here and there. But yeah, Ajani Strength of the Pride is a 4 mana, 5 loyalty Planeswalker. The tick up allows you to gain life equal to the number of creatures you control, plus the number of Planeswalkers you control. The -2 gives you a 2/2 cat creature token, which is basically an Ajani's Pridemate, and it gains life, you get counters. And then the 0, if you have 15 or more life than your starting life total, then you can exile Ajani, and each artifact and creature your opponent controls. It's kind of a problem, but not necessarily. How on earth is that Ascendant already a 6/6? Good lord. It's just 30 or more life. It's not actually more life than you had before, is it? Oh, great. Alright, so we're going to go Gideon of the Trials, and we're just going to fog that. So, tick up on it, and basically hope for the best, to be honest. We can block Linden, and we can't block the Healer's Hawk, but we're ticking up for 1. So the Healer's Hawk damage is fine-ish. It's more about what our opponent can do here with this Ajani's Strength of the Pride, which I will be going for the Faith Fetters, but they will probably make themselves... Ugh. Never mind, they're going to go for the Archon of Sun's Grace. So, it's still worth getting in with the Ascendant, even though it does nothing, because it gets them the attack trigger. I'm just looking for a Wrath at this point. Gain 2. In fact, the fact that I need a Wrath is probably why they've gone with the Archon of Sun's Grace. It's kind of really annoying that I'm not going to have one. But I can't really have them going to an exceptionally high life total either, so just going to have to keep fogging. And I feel like the Faith Fetters on Strength of the Pride is really ideal here, so instead of Faith Fettering to keep Gideon alive, I think I'm just going to go for a Maze Mind Tome to find a board wipe. I've got plenty in this deck, so should be able to make that happen. Worst case, we get Overwhelming Splendor down at some point on cue. Ugh. There's Heliod as well. Makes a 2-2. Goodbye, Gideon of the Trials. You are keeping our life total nice and high, though, so there is that. And this only gets rid of artifacts and creatures, so we won't actually get rid of the overwhelming splendor. The main issue is all of the counters we're getting here, but we're looking for a Wrath anyway to undo this kind of issue. I'm just going to draw my card now. It's not really much that would change that decision. There's Realmclaw Giant. Alright, we've got plenty of board wipes. There's a pretty good chance that we were going to see one of those anyway, so... let's block Linden. And hope our opponent just plays a 2-drop here. Yep, go back to the command zone, Gideon. Don't need this upkeep stop anymore. We basically just hope that we draw a land so that Splendor can do its thing. Hey, look at that. Alright, what are we at now? 6? We're very close. We are getting there, and this is definitely worth a board wipe. I think our opponent knows that. They might be holding open some card like Indestructibility. Didn't have it, though. There's like Fight for 1 or Fight with something. A 1 mana... it's got like a tiger on it. Or a liger. Gives a human and a non-human abilities. Alright. So there's Ajani's Strength of the Pride. We're going to be faith-fettering that. We only really have to deal with the Ajani's Primate token. I think because we just really will win off of a land drop, most likely, I am just going to... That's interesting. I am going to dig for lands. So I'm going to face fetters for 4. But if I went for Gideon Blackblade... Yeah, I could take this, actually. If I went for Gideon Blackblade first, I would still have 4 mana off of the Mox Amber. So let's just do that. Gideon... Mox Amber... Faith Fetters, Ajani. Alright, that can no longer activate.
Prepare for battle.
They could kill my Gideon Blackblade here, I suppose. It's certainly possible. History of Benalia. Yep, that'll do it. Again, though, we're just digging for another board wipe. Short of, like, Cleansing Nova, I don't know how they beat the Solemnity 9 Lives combo. Wow, no respect for Gideon. I guess, Planar Cleansing could also be a thing. So 3, 6, 7. I'm just going to dig for a land, so we're going to go for the Scry here. Because the Plains will just, yeah, really wreck our opponent's day, I would say.
That's enough.
So, main phase, Plains, Splendor, you. Creatures lose all abilities and become 1/1s. Heliod is a 2/2 without Indestructible. I am not inclined to attack Ajani. In fact, it does me much more good having it in play. So let's just swing with Gideon, take our opponent lower than 40, which does have a relevancy. And we'll pass the turn. I'm probably just going to use Maze Mine to draw, unless I see something disgustingly powerful here. They do maintain their creature types. That's just a 1/1, but it was anyway. They do maintain their creature types, so History of Benalia is still going to give Knights +2/+1. They just don't have Vigilance anymore. I guess I really am just looking for a board wipe to reset this board and make everything just a 1/1 forever. It's a good way to get rid of Heliod for sure. We can make Ardenvale tokens to get rid of the rest of the 1/1s, which is kind of funny. Angel of 1/1. And that is Solemnity 9 Lives, so the question is, do I want to fire it off? I think we're in no rush to do it just yet. Let's just go for Maze Mind activation for now. It's just planes. So I could get down Gideon of the Trials with Helm of the Host. That's probably a good idea. Then again, they've got quite a body on board, so let's just go with the Realm Cloak Giant, tick up on this, make it whatever, it doesn't matter, and swing our opponent for 4. I do want to present some, you know, blocking power. Perhaps Helm on Realm Cloak Giant is also just fine. Then again, Helm on Gideon Blackblade, it's pretty solid. They could kill him if they want to. We've got Conclave Tribunal for the Overwhelming Splendor. Alright, so we're back to digging for maybe Banishing Lights and things like that. But this could also be a great time for Solemnity 9 lives. So we'll take a token off the board. Going to 6. Huh, Shout of the Sky. I like that, actually. Yeah, I like Shout of the Sky. Alright, so we're gonna go... Realm Cloak Giant gains Indestructible. We're gonna swing at our opponent. They're probably not gonna block, because they think they're keeping the board state. It's a shame we didn't draw the Shatter before they got rid of the Splendor, because the Splendor was turning the Indestructible off of Heliod there. But this works just fine anyway. We've got 2 indestructible creatures. We have to draw a card. Really awkward timing on that Prison Realm, for sure. I guess we can slap down Solemnity. It stops Heliod from actually working. Or this could be a Gideon of the Trials time. I guess it's Gideon time. Yeah, let's get Gideon down. Let's fog Heliod. And our opponent scoops it up. I think we were going to lock them there. We have 9 lives Solemnity combo. If it got blown up by a Planar Cleansing, I guess we have a little bit of a problem. That's really about it though, I think. Because if they had Cleansing Nova to destroy all enchantments, the 9 lives would say you lose the game. And by the time we've set that up, I've probably emblemed the Gideon of the Trials, which says I can't lose the game. So losing that combo isn't the end of the world. But yeah, it was a matter of, I guess, just finding another Banishing Light, take care of the Tribunal, reset the Overwhelming Splendor, and then just beat down, beat down, beat down. I think we've got a really solid attacking base here, for sure. But yeah, that is going to do it for today's video. It's a really fun game, I think, personally, from my perspective anyway. Hopefully you guys had a similar perspective, and if you do, let me know down in the comment section below, or by hitting the like button and subscribing if you haven't yet done so already. I'm going to try to make a fair bit more Historic Brawl content, because it's one of my favourite formats to play, so going to be getting in on that, as well as some Cube as well, that has recently been announced and released onto Arena, so a little bit of Cube, a little bit of Historic Brawl, and just, you know, some wild jank along the way, I guess. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.